Fala pessoal, de boa, continuando a nossa gameplay do Starfield, de onde paramos. E vamos seguindo em frente aqui com a história das indústrias Ryujin, certo? No último vídeo a gente terminou mais uma missão, já iniciamos a próxima e bora lá.
I'm sure you can tell by now, she isn't here, which is a shame since I have several documents I need her to sign off on. She's always been the master of avoiding desk work. There are work skills and there are life skills. I can't help it if I have both. She hasn't stepped into the office since the maintenance closure, probably abusing her paid time off again. I know for a fact she doesn't have any external meetings or business trips. I'm not even sure that's any business of yours. But I do enjoy keeping close tabs on my counterpart. Dare I ask why you need to know? Yeah, no thanks. Getting information out of Dalton is like talking to a wall. Besides, speculation is far more fun. I have Imogene's last location at Frankie's Grab and Go, which we all know is a front for the Sioka Syndicate. You'll want to get executive sign-off if you plan on chasing after her. I'd say Dalton is your best bet.
Perhaps we need to get Dalton's permission to relieve ourselves as well. Good lord, this corporation keeps you on a short leash.
Is there an echo in the room? Yeah, Frankie's is a front. Crap convenience store on the outside, high-tech hideout on the inside. Of course, the only people that really know that are Ryujin, Bayu, and the Syndicate itself. Your guess is as good as mine, but she's up to something. I could tell she was trying to cover her tracks, but this is my job, and there's a reason I'm in charge of the technicians here. Good. I'd hate to see what sort of drama might get stirred up if you went around him, or maybe I'd love it. Keep the workplace interesting, right? Word of advice. If you're planning on foregoing authorization and just tiptoeing your way to Imogene, park your friend at the door. Two's a crowd if you're trying to lay low. Good luck finding Imogene. Oh, and if you do catch up with her, be sure to let her know I had everything to do with it.
Beleza, nesse momento a gente tem o opcional ali de conversar com o Dalton.
No Imogene, I see. Could she really be on to us already? A good question. But with her abilities and connections, the possibilities are too many to speculate on right now. We need to find her first, and address that issue afterward. Of course, Yuko would know. If Imogene's with the Syndicate, I can't just send you after her. You'll need to speak with Benjamin Bayu. We have to make sure he's aware of the situation. If we're lucky, he may even help us get to Imogene. Bayu owns the Sioka Syndicate. For you to walk in there without discussing it with him first could be seen as a violation of our business relationship. Good, because without it, this adds a complexity that we do not have time for. Head over to the trade tower and be discreet. Let Bayu know that you're there on Ryujin's behalf. He may ask for credits or even a favor. Just give him what he wants.
Sounds lovely. Could we requisition a towel so we can wipe off all the slime after dealing with that repulsive man?
It shouldn't be for anything unfamiliar. Bayu is a businessman. Any favor he may request wouldn't be far off from the assignments you've already completed here. The sooner, the better. We don't want to give a clever mind like hers any more room than we have to. Just be sure to bring her back here in one piece. If she's truly the mole, she'll have a lot to answer to. If she resists or tries to run, we have no choice but to take it as an admission of guilt. I'm afraid you'll have to dispose of her.
Dispose of her? As a valued member of your corporation, she at least deserves the opportunity to explain herself.
Imogene may be a valued operative here, but that's what makes her equally dangerous. We're lucky enough to have her position now, but should she disappear, we may never have another chance.
Don't tell me a corporation like Ryujin isn't prepared to track a rogue operative throughout the galaxy.
Of course we're prepared, but the expenditure would be great. Our chances of finding her would only decrease with time. So elimination is the most efficient path. It's something I hope our mutual friend here will understand as well. Matters like these are handled within the corporation. The information we're dealing with is too sensitive for law enforcement, and their security leaves much to be desired. It wouldn't be long before the information was either leaked to the press or sold to yet another competitor.
At least give Imogene a chance to explain herself before you gun her down like a common street thug.
Imogene has the potential to do this company a great deal of harm with her knowledge. She knows the consequences of betraying Ryujin, which makes her dangerous. If the situation does take a turn for the worst, I only ask that you perform a thorough search for any evidence she may have in her possession. I trust you won't let your past relationship cloud your judgment.
E agora temos o outro opcional, que é para conversar com quem comanda a cidade de Neon aqui.
I don't recall sending for anyone. What do you want? It's been a very beneficial partnership. As long as we continue to look out for our mutual interests, I can't complain. No. I can always make time when it comes to an old friend. So, what would be the reason? I may consider Ryujin an ally, but Dalton especially knows I don't give anything blindly. As long as it doesn't involve the Syndicate members themselves, I'll tell you what. I'll make sure the Syndicate lets you in hassle-free, provided you do a little something for me. Excellent. One of the Syndicate leaders, Kumio, has a slate with some information on it that's better off in my hands. Agree to bring it to me, and you've got yourself a deal. Ryujin's got themselves a real keeper. Check in with Ms. Moore at Frankie's. I'll send word along that you're to be expected, so she shouldn't give you any trouble. Fair warning. The Syndicate should let you search any common areas. But if Kumiho catches you snooping around her own quarters for that slate, I'll just say, be prepared for some hostilities.
Beleza, né? Então a gente vai ter que fazer um servicinho pra ele ali, mesmo ele sendo o líder, né, do sindicato. Chegando lá, a gente também precisa conversar com a recepcionista ali agora, que é opcional.
You lost, kiddo? Sure. I just don't get too many quality customers here. Most folks head over to Newell's or the Emporium if they've got the creds. I'd say less than half my customers are legit. The others are just kids up to no good. Oh, so you're the one getting special treatment. Don't look like much to me. I've got one rule for you in there, so it shouldn't be hard to remember. Third floor is off limits. They catch you snooping around, and it's open season. I'm more of an honorary member. I let them take up residence in the back, keep things looking legit. They keep this business afloat, so finances don't keep me up at night. It ain't a threat if it's a rule, now is it? That's what I like to hear. For the record, I'm only granting you access because I have to. You'll find that young lady you're looking for holed up in a room almost straight ahead. Just remember to keep your eyes on the prize. The less you consider this an open house, the better.
Beleza, e agora a gente pode entrar ali no sindicato sem ter tantos problemas, porque a outra opção para entrar nessa área seria na base da bala, né, mano? E é uma coisa meio complicada, né? Não é o objetivo dessas missões aqui, né? Então eu tô completando conforme os personagens pedem ali mesmo, né? De um jeito mais furtivo, meio de agente, por aí vai, sem sair aqui eliminando todo mundo, certo? Um dos objetivos nossos está no terceiro andar, onde a gente não pode ir normalmente, porque vai dar BO, então a gente vai ter que ir escondido pra lá. Nesse primeiro andar aqui a gente não vai ter problemas, né? Tanto que a gente vai subir ali pro segundo pra encontrar a mina que tá escondida ali, ó. O objetivo já tá mostrando até pertinho da gente ali na porta. Então, primeiramente, vamos nela, depois a gente resolve a questão ali do item.
I figured our paths would cross sooner or later. Not that I thought I was safe, but I never expected anyone to just slip by all the syndicate here.
I had a feeling you'd be the one to come after me.
You stay in this business long enough, you get enough favors and connections that can help you see anything coming. Nix owed me a favor and gave me the heads up. Yes and no, but mostly no. Just hear me out, okay? I know this doesn't look good, but I had no choice. Ularu set me up. Yes, I've been acting as a double agent, but because she ordered me to. The assignment was meant to deceive, not benefit. And Project Dominion is way above my pay grade. It'd be impossible for me to deliver it. At least, intentionally. Of course. But first you have to understand, she used me to play an unwitting part in this, so I'm the one that takes the fall. That's why I said it'd be impossible for me to intentionally pull this off. I'm not the one with motive here. First, I'm not about to reboot my life. Second, I'm not spending the rest of my life looking over my shoulder for the next field op they'd send after me. Look, I only know about Project Dominion because I wanted to know exactly what I was being accused of leaking. But that tech is dangerous. An internal neuroamp that can theoretically control other people? If the evidence points to me, it's because Ularu used it to set me up. What better way to frame someone than to take control of their mind and have them actually perform the actions? Because she knows I'm the most believable target. I'm the only one at Ryujin with the skills to even come close to being able to pull off a job like this. Power, of course. Corporations maintain their success by any means necessary, but there are some measures Masako is reluctant to take. You may have noticed that none of your assignments directly involve murder. Masako reserves those actions only when it's absolutely necessary. Ularu sees this as a sign of weakness that needs to be dealt with. It's the only scenario that makes sense. Besides, what's my motive? My career is solid at Ryujin. Infinity can't possibly beat my current benefits. Believe me, after having to play double agent, I've learned all of this firsthand. Yes, it's what the technology does, and it explains why the evidence against me is so solid. Come to think of it, it also explains a few strange bouts of disorientation I've been having the past few months. That's exactly what I've been doing here. Ularu has the skill to pull this off, but she's also been behind the desk for years now. I knew she'd miss something. This slate holds all the evidence against her. I just need you to deliver it to Dalton. It's the only way I can prove I'm innocent. Nix's contract limits his investigation to Ularu's computer and her network activity. I hacked into building security and was able to recover deleted records of her accessing the Project Dominion prototype. I guarantee the third-party company Dalton is using for his security directive Theta won't even notice it. I was hoping you would. I'm still going to lay low until I hear the coast is clear. As long as Ularu still thinks I'm on the run, she'll remain confident that her plan is working. And I know you don't hear it much around the office, but thanks.
Beleza, e a gente completou por enquanto esse primeiro objetivo, e ali a gente já tem opções, tá? De não acreditar nela ou de dar ali um passe de confiança pra ela e depois ver como essa história aqui vai desenrolar, tá? Aí é a escolha de vocês, certo? Eu vou mostrar as opções ali, mesmo assim ainda vai dar pra mudar de lado também futuramente. Vocês vão entender isso daí conforme avança na história, mas de quem vocês vão ficar aí é critério de cada um, tá? Eu dei o voto de confiança pra ela, né? Porque eu já acredito que não seja ela, porém a gente vai ir seguindo ali com a história pra tentar entender melhor a situação, porque... né? É uma acusação, mas cadê as provas? É uma coisa meio complicada. O nosso objetivo, ó, está ali embaixo, porém já deu pra reparar que tem alguém no computador, né? Então é uma coisa um pouquinho mais complicada. E a parte ali de você ter a furtividade no máximo pode ajudar bastante aqui em relação a você pegar isso mais fácil, tá? Será que dá pra ir? E o pior que deu, hein? Nada demais? Beleza, bora lá. E aí, depois de você ter completado ali os objetivos, praticamente é só você fazer o caminho de volta, tá? Não tem mais segredo ali, tomando os devidos cuidados, porque você ainda está numa área que, se alguém te ver, vai se tornar hostil, certo? E rapaz, acho que eu não vou por aqui não, hein? Porque eu acho que pode dar BO ali. Vou voltar pelo caminho padrão que a gente conseguiu entrar aqui na moralzinha. E aí a gente vai sair e continuar ali com a história, tá? Que é bem de boa. Aí abriu aqui, ó. Foi aonde eu entrei ali na ventilação. Bem tranquilo. Ainda assim eu vou manter a precaução, né? De ficar escondido ali e pular por aqui. Prontinho. A gente já voltou ali pra área segura e bora lá.
Ah, Ryujin's latest returns. I trust you've got what I wanted? I'd hate to think you've grown a few ideas in that head of yours since we last spoke. We have an agreement. Huh. Turning the tables on me. I have to admit, I didn't see it in you. Credits it is. And next time, I won't misjudge you.
I'm not thrilled that Bayou got what he wanted from us. But at least you made that bastard pay through the nose.
Well, look who's back. So tell me, what did you find out? Inside the Syndicate? That area is off limits, and I think we both know why. Imogene knew exactly what she was doing when she went there. If you think I'm paying for that information, think again. It's just a matter of time before it finds its way onto my desk, and I can be a very patient person. Oh my, Imogene pointing the finger at Ularu. That would be a first. Ularu will want her head when she finds out. Those two have been a team ever since Imogene started here. And saying they had a student-teacher relationship is probably an understatement. For either one to betray what we all assumed they had, is more than a bit surprising. Well, she's not wrong. This situation is gonna give Dalton some serious anxiety. At least it sounds like Imogene has it under control. For now. A mole? No. Ularu's not about to work for another corporation. If she's betraying Ryujin, she's doing it under her own personal agenda. If I were you, I'd leave it up to Dalton. If there's even a chance that Ularu is betraying the company, he'll never find out if she knows she's under investigation. Once you hand that evidence to Dalton, he's gonna scrutinize the hell out of it. And if he's smart, I'll be the first person he calls. Between the two of us, we'll suss out the truth one way or another.
Beleza, e nessa parte aqui a gente já pode entregar tudo ali pro Dalton ou simplesmente confrontar a mina ali também, né? Que supostamente foi ela que armou tudo isso daí, certo? Confrontando ela, você também terá algumas respostas, tá? Em relação a essa história aqui. E onde você também pode escolher ficar do lado dela se quiser, tá? Mas aí é critério de cada um, mesmo assim eu vou lá conversar e mostrar os diálogos pra vocês.
Is there something I can help you with? All right. This sounds like a closed-door conversation. Just a moment. Shutting the door and engaging locks. There. Now, is this some sort of joke? I thought Dalton was conducting a real investigation. And just where is this absurd notion coming from? Did you really come here just to make petty statements like that? It sounds like you're only here to waste my time. Now that sounds more like a proposition I could get behind. Fine. Since it's just you and me here, I'll come clean. I leaked Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd. But I'm no mole. Please. It's insulting that you think I'd actually be working for someone other than Ryujin or myself. That depends on how you define innocent. You see, I'm not a mole. I'm an opportunist. And no one is more loyal to Ryujin than I am. Masako, on the other hand, is losing her touch. Ryujin needs strong leadership for what lies ahead. A CEO who can make the hard decisions. It was never my intent to involve Imogene.
But when you arrived with information on Project Dominion, I knew Infinity had screwed up. I had no choice but to act fast. Imogene is the only one that Dalton and the others would believe was capable of pulling this off. It had to be her. It's all part of my plan. But don't worry, Infinity Ltd. will never be able to complete Vina's work. I made sure of that. What do you think? If someone was a threat to your family, would you be satisfied waiting for them to strike? Of course not. You'd eliminate the threat before it had a chance to act. In some cases, before it even realized what it was capable of. Back then, hard decisions were all about screwing people over and white-collar crime. Today, they're more about ensuring success, by any means necessary. So, now that you know, it's time to see how good you are at making hard decisions. With your help, I can take down Masako and make the credits worth your while. So whose side are you on? Masako's or Ryujin's? Well, it seems we're at an impasse now. Go ahead. I guarantee any evidence you have is circumstantial at best. I've created the perfect scapegoat in Imogene. It'd be your word against mine, and I'm pretty sure the odds are in my favor. We'll see about that.
Já viu ali, né, que é aquele esquema, se você quiser ficar do lado dela, irá se tornar um dos CEO da Ryujin, certo? Porém, claro, fazendo a coisa errada, né?
You're back. And Imogene? So you did find her, and yet failed to bring her in. I'm looking forward to this explanation.
Taylor, can I see the marketing brief? I'd like to run over it one more time before the meeting.
Of course. We've scrubbed security footage and run through access card permissions and found nothing. The project itself is an enormous security risk, but our lead R&D engineer, Vina Kara, has been working on ways to mitigate this.
Just 5 years off my life, asshole.
Fine, fine. That wasn't my best joke. I'll buy drinks after the meeting and make it up to you.
That should shake things up around here just a bit.
I find it hard to believe Ularu would take the chance to incriminate herself. But if this slate provides indisputable evidence to corroborate your story, well, that's enough proof for me. It will be a relief to reinstate Imogene as well. Now, I need to undertake the laborious task of writing up a report to summarize all of this. In the meantime, Masako has requested your presence in R&D. She wants you to meet her in Vinakara's office. Vina's the head of our research and development team. She's the creator of Project Dominion, and often considered the protege of Ray Decaris, Ryujin's founder. Just take the elevator down to research and development. You'll find Dr. Kara's office to your left as you enter the floor. Masako's been focusing on how to deal with Infinity Ltd. And their knowledge of Project Dominion. I believe her plans rely heavily on you. Not that I enjoy it, but I wouldn't trust anyone but myself with these reports as it is.
Com isso a gente acaba completando a missão, recebemos também uma conquista ali muito bom e bora continuar com a próxima.
I need that Rothicite if we want to complete the neuroamp.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out and get that shipment back. Good, you're here. It's time to put a plan in motion to take full control of this situation with Infinity Ltd. In due time. We don't know to what extent Infinity has taken the current neuroamp schematics, so our top priority is completing our own. Let me introduce you to Veena Kalra, Head of Research and Development. She'll give you the initial details.
Yes, details. You see, the internal neuroamp is supposed to consist of 2 parts. The first part, the part Infinity stole, handles the manipulative effects. The second part is a shielding modification designed to protect the user against other neuroamp users. Well, we can't, but the shielding aspect was never officially a part of Project Dominion. It was an afterthought of how to safeguard our own people from being manipulated, so it was being researched separately as a mod. The research itself was in early stages, too early for board approval, so only myself, DeMarcus, and Masako know about it. Oh yeah, marketing and finance wouldn't have it any other way.
No one wants their greatest asset used against them. Once Veena can complete the internal neuroamp and shielding mod, the plan is to outfit you with both and have you infiltrate Infinity Ltd. We can't risk the assignment until we know your mind has the necessary protection.
I think implanting that device into your head is a mistake, but it's your choice, not mine.
You're a Ryujin employee, and we need a job done. We've trusted you this far, so I feel it's safe to continue the trend. We expect our employees to do whatever it takes to ensure Ryujin's success. Consider this an opportunity, not a risk. Besides, you're in good hands with Veena. Good. That's all I wanted to hear.
And all I need is the last piece of the puzzle. The final kink in both designs was finding compatible materials to use for conductivity that the human body wouldn't reject. I've finally created the perfect alloy, but it requires a newly discovered refined element called Rothicite.
The last shipment we were supposed to receive never arrived, and we've gotten no response to our queries from the station. We have a confidential contract with Consolidated Mining to keep the discovery quiet, so it's unusual for them not to respond. We have several theories. Dealing with a new element on a new planet has its own set of risks. It could be environmental, mechanical, or, worst-case scenario, pirates, mercenaries. We are leaning toward the latter. Yes, Consolidated Mining knows what's at stake if they fail to deliver. They consistently get the job done, which is why we chose them to run this station. And also why we're so concerned. We need you to head out there, secure the shipment, and bring it back here so Veena can complete her prototype. And I want to know what happened. We need to take any safety measures to make sure this doesn't happen again. Unfortunately, yes, so be prepared. Extensive tests and research were done on the planet, so the chances that this is environmental are slim. And setting up a station like this is second nature for Consolidated Mining, with plenty of redundancies in place to handle mechanical failures. The station is called CM Station RC-1. It's on a moon called Carinae 3A in the Carinae system. Unfortunately, we had to cut ties with our supply chain manager, Camden Cho, and his replacement is still getting up to speed. Otherwise, I may have had more useful information. I can't discuss the details. Company policy. Camden managed all of our outside contracts. He set up the initial agreements with Consolidated Mining, so he had on-site access and knowledge that we could have used. Be prepared for anything. Once you have the shipment, bring it straight back to Vina.
Beleza, né? Então o nosso objetivo ali, ó, é viajar para um sistema que eu explorei não faz muito tempo. Alguns vídeos para trás aí a gente passou por aqui. Eu devo ter até comentado que essa área aqui parecia muito uma área de missão, tá? E é relacionado à indústria Ryujin, né? Porque você consegue explorar aqui. Tanto que eu acho que eu dei um pente fino nessa área aqui. Só que tem aquele detalhe, você chega num ponto ali que não consegue mais avançar. E não tem o que fazer. Você precisa entrar em um elevador. E esse elevador vai te mandar lá pra parte de baixo, onde vai estar a mina, e você vai conseguir explorar. Só que você, sem ter essa missão e sem estar nela, não consegue o cartão de acesso pra entrar ali. Pelo menos, né? Eu não encontrei quando eu vim aqui. Então, possivelmente seja apenas com missão pra explorar mesmo 100% essa área, beleza? Os inimigos eu acho que não vai estar aqui porque eu eliminei eles, mano. Quando eu vim fazer a exploração do planeta ali. Não que eu reclame, isso pra mim é até bom, porque aí eu já passo até mais rápido, né? E já pego a parte da mina ali, que faz parte da missão mesmo. E aí seria esse elevador aqui, ó, que você não consegue passar por ele, tá? Fora da missão. Olha lá, ó. Agora sim, ó, deu um outro objetivo ali, ó. Que possivelmente é o cartão de acesso, quer ver? Falei? Então realmente, é só através da missão pra gente conseguir acessar ali a mina. E aí aquele padrão, né? Vai estar cheio de inimigo aí. E a gente vai precisar eliminar todo mundo porque são os eclipses lá, né? E tem uns bichos fortes aqui, viu, fi? O maluco tá longe e a arma dando tiro torto. Aí fica uma beleza. Subimos ali pro nível 80, beleza. Opa! Olha uma revista aí, ó. Bom, hein? Interessante, eu curti. Eita cacete! O que foi isso? Nossa! O maluco tá com a arma violenta ali, mano. Ah, o cara tá protegido, quer ver? Tá de sacanagem. Já dá pra ver no mapa ali que tem inimigo pra caramba. Vamos aproveitar, pegar as munição também, né? Faz parte.
See if if they've got any weapons or ammo.
A gente acaba encontrando alguns ali de níveis mais baixos. No meio dos níveis altos, né? Caralho, os malucos tá dando tiro de longe ali, hein? Aí. Deixa eu ver se eu consigo matar daqui, tá? Senão eu vou ter que ir lá atrás deles. Eita caramba. Nossa senhora. Eu nem vi que tinha um bagulho ali do lado. O maluco atirou bem nele e explodiu. O maluco tem resistência, hein, filho? Tá louco, mano. Cadê o daqui de baixo primeiro? Uma torreta lá na casa do cacete, mano. Não, e pra acertar com essa arma aqui, irmão, a precisão dela é uma bosta. Olha o maluco aqui. Olha isso. Caralho, tem outro. Me curar se não dá merda. Beleza. Bom, vamos fazer o seguinte. Vou eliminar só esse pessoal que veio pra cima. Vou descer ali, dar uma geralzinha. E aí a gente volta aqui pelo caminho e continua subindo, né? E pra lá é onde tá o restante dos inimigos.
Hey, that's not fair. Cowards.
Resumo da história, né, mano? Os caras foi contratado pra matar todo mundo aqui. Eita, vim pro caminho errado, pera. Ou eu tava no certo? Ah, não. Esse é pra voltar mesmo. Tô só sendo burro. Torreta. Já era. Só tem mais 3 ali no mapa. Já tô um pouquinho mais tranquilo. Os caras já tá atirando pra cá já, mano. Mais um foi embora. Olha lá, ó. Já era também. Tem 2 ainda. É, não é nível alto não. Então ele vai tomar bastante dano. E uma torreta aqui, ó. Bom, agora eu acho que os inimigos acabou. E só falta a gente dar uma geralzinha ali na área. E seguir pra finalizar ali a missão, né? Creio eu.
Anything useful? Fascinating. I've heard about these tunnel boring machines, but never had the opportunity to see one of them in person.
Beleza, ainda temos essa última área aqui também, né? Que é um local que a gente só consegue acessar, pelo menos para a entrada, através da exploração da mina ali também. Tá aí. Vou levar. Pelo menos dá pra vender depois ali, mesmo que eu não vá usar. E aí a gente pega uma grana extra. Bastante coisa aqui, bem legal. E vamos lá. Filha da mãe correu bem na hora, mano. Eita caramba. Nossa, ela derreteu o bicho. Meu Deus do céu. Errei uns 3 ali. Que beleza. Bom, aparentemente não tem mais inimigo nessa área. Vamos dar uma geradinha, ver se tem código, ver se tem alguma informação, alguma coisa extra ali também. Pegar aqui, claramente, as recompensas, né? Já temos um item pra ler ali também, relacionado à missão. O computador tá ali pra gente interagir. Olha o corpo no tremelique aí. Vamos olhar tudo e tentar levar tudo também, né? É o padrão. Eu vou levar, depois eu confiro se eu já tenho ela ou não. Se eu já tiver, eu vendo. Baú de recompensa final aí também da exploração, muito bom. E o códice aqui, né? Vou deixar um pouquinho na tela pra vocês aí as informações. E rapaz, é lá na clínica, hein? Uma área aí que a gente já explorou. O desvio de carregamento ali, ó. Vamos dar uma olhadinha no computador, né? Coisa que eu não preciso fazer, porque é só ir direto pra clínica lá. Mas é sempre importante aí a gente, né, mostrar todas as informações possíveis da missão, beleza? Então, bora lá. Beleza, a partir desse momento aqui, a gente só precisa ir embora, né? Vou mostrar aqui, ó. Onde a gente vai ter acesso ali a não dar toda aquela volta, que é essa porta de emergência agora, certo? Beleza, bom, exploração por aqui acabou, não tem mais nada pra fazer. E agora a gente precisa, né, fazer uma dobra lá pra clínica. Já estou chegando perto dela ali pra gente agilizar o rolê, né, de acoplar nela e entrar lá. E entrando nela ali, a gente vai ter que conversar com um guarda, tá? Vamos tentar primeiro persuadir ele, mas se falhar não tem problema, tem outros meios.
Got our permission to... This area is off limits. Authorized personnel only. An outbreak? I haven't heard anything about this. No, I don't want to die horribly along with... Damn. You're really serious. It's really that bad? What is it? Do we need to sound an alarm or something? Understood. Here's an access card. Good luck.
Bom, a gente passou ali sem precisar persuadir. Vamos dizer assim, numa opção garantida. Se você tiver a perk de medicina, algo bem interessante que nem eu sabia, mas agora já deu bom, né?
Sean, I don't want to go over this again. I'm tired, all right? Just not today.
You can't be okay with this though, right? You took an oath, and I'd say this is a firm violation.
Look, we got that shipment. Although who knows what Faye expects me to do with it. But maybe approvals really are on the way. Now please, get back to Kyle. Make sure his vitals are stable. I don't want to lose him. We'll figure this out. I promise.
Fine. But if we lose Kai, that's it. I'm going to SSNN. I don't give a shit about my career anymore.
You and me both.
Acabei esperando o diálogo ali entre os dois médicos, né? E agora a gente vai ter que abordar este daqui, certo? Para continuar com a história.
We better get that approval soon. Excuse me, but this is a restricted area. You need to leave. That's none of your business. Now leave before I call security. Checking up on us? I feel like we should be the ones checking up on you. What do you want? Is that what you traveled all the way here to ask? It's empty because we've lost our third round of patients. Now, do you want to get to the point? I've got failure reports to document. Oh, I see. Send an ill-informed rep so I get the pleasure of re-explaining everything while you aren't able to give me an ounce of information in return. I've been promised official authorization on Project Dominion for weeks now, and every time it's almost done or just a few more days. With confidence like this, it's a wonder Infinity Ltd is able to stay in business. Of course you do, because daily reports simply aren't good enough. The third group, like the others, failed to take the internal neuroamp, all resulting in death, with the exception of one, currently comatose. Sean and I are hopeful we'll be able to revive the subject, but until we receive proof of human trial authorization, any fourth group will be refused. Well, there's a level of brain activity that keeps us hopeful. Making sure that man lives is our #1 priority. Don't act so surprised. Infinity is well aware. In fact, I remind him of those statistics in every report I send, which happens to be daily. The standard response is always, failure is to be expected, but keep pushing forward. Well, you'd be the first from Infinity to think so. It's a relief to know they have at least one employee with some sense. Now, Anything else I can help you with? Oh yes, refined rothosite? As if I have the proper tools here to create experimental metal alloys. Ah, I was hoping that was a mistake. That will save me the trouble of writing yet another complaint. It's on the table. It's all yours. Anything else? Then we're all in a lot of trouble. This means everything we've done here at the clinic has been illegal, and we'll all be tried for murder. Let's just say I was blinded by my own determination to restart my career. I'm pretty sure my feelings in the past are why Infinity hired me in the first place. They knew I'd be desperate to regain the respect of my peers, and failure would mean utter ruin. Now that's a naive question. The clinic is either being paid to turn a blind eye, or Infinity is doing all they can to prevent them from knowing. Good. Now if you'll excuse me, work to do.
Beleza, pessoal. E agora a gente então precisa pegar o item ali tranquilamente, sem ter tantos problemas de roubo, nem nada desse tipo, certo? E agora é só voltar lá pra Ryujin.
If you have the rothosite, speak to Vina first.
Hey there. Is that my beautiful shipment? You were right about this one, Masako. Looks like it. This should be more than enough. Now, I shall excuse myself and get to work on finalizing this prototype.
So, what did you learn about CM Station RC-1? The mercenary group? Only that you mean business if you hire them. They're not known for subtlety, and don't care if they leave a trail of bodies in their wake. I take it they were at the station? Lucas must be desperate if he hired them to collect the rothosite. Were there any survivors? Our station on Carone 3A and Consolidated Mining's contract were both confidential. We had no reason to believe they'd be under any threat. Of course, we had no reason to believe we had a mole, either. Corporate culture may have its ugly side, but that doesn't mean we've lost our humanity. Our moves are strategic and precise, as you should know. The moment we justify the slaughter of innocents is when we go from competitive to criminal. Sicking ecliptic on a station with nothing but miners and scientists? Corporations can sink low, but this is a new level. Now, I also had a report that you were spotted at the clinic. I take it you traced the shipment there? Our technicians are thorough, but they aren't that thorough. Your ship docking there simply caught their attention is all. But on the off chance it was related to your assignment, they're currently combing through the clinic records as we speak. Dr. Lane? I believe Vina is familiar with his work, specializing in neurosurgery. Were you able to determine what he was doing at the clinic? They're going to pay, all right. But if you have something to add to their list of criminal activity, I'll be happy to use whatever fuel you can provide. Human trials? Without even completing his product? Ugh, Lucas must be insane.
To hell with corporations and CEOs and profit margins. People have died, and you aren't showing the least bit of remorse. Ugh.
I'll make sure Yuko's team extracts every bit of information they can from the clinic's database on this. Between hiring Ecliptic and unauthorized human trials, we have enough to take Lucas down for good. And with the Rotha site secure, it's almost time for us to make our move. Not long, according to her. She and DeMarcus have everything prepped and ready. I believe it's just a matter of creating the alloy and molding it according to her design. Head up to the executive floor and speak to Dalton. He has an update for you on the mole's identity. I've called a meeting and I expect you to attend. It's time to put the final plan in motion.
Com isso, a gente acaba completando mais uma missão e a gente já inicia a próxima. Eu vou deixar para o outro vídeo. Valeu, falou!